Hello friends, today we will be discussing about postmortem changes part 3, that is rigor mortis. I am Dr. Seema Sute, Professor and HOD Forensic Medicine and Toxicology GMC Khandwa. Last time we had discussed about early changes in skin, eyes, and then in part 2 we had discussed about postmortem cooling and postmortem lividity. Today we will be seeing rigor mortis, and here this is categorized into muscular changes in cadaver, which is first we can see primary relaxation or flaccidity. It denotes the somatic death and which lasts for 2 to 3 hours. It is characterized by relaxation of joints, contact flattening, and muscles respond to external stimuli. So for 2 to 3 hours, external stimuli responses will be seen. In case of rigor mortis, it is the stiffening of muscle fibers because of the ATP reduction, that is the physicochemical process. It involves voluntary and involuntary muscle stiffening. It first appears in the involuntary muscles, for example, myocardium or eyes, and then later on it starts developing involuntary muscles. The sequence of developing rigor mortis in case of voluntary muscles is proximo-distal. Like for example, if you look at the hands, the rigor mortis start from fingers and then arms and then like it goes upwards. In case of feet, toes and then cuff and then upwards on thighs and then trunk muscles will be involved. It disappears in the same order in which it appeared. Testing of rigor mortis can be done by bending the joints, and if it breaks, it indicates that the rigor mortis is already set up, and if it is easily moved on, then it is not set up. Here you can see in the diagram the normal relaxed and contracted stage of myosin actin filament. Here in relaxed state, the filaments are separated, and in contracted normally when there is alternate contraction relaxation of the muscle keeps on going, in that case the contraction stage is like this. And in case of rigor mortis, if you see that is the constricted stage, the actin and myosin filaments are intermingled and it is fixed. So this is how the mechanism of rigor mortis is, and if you see the chronology, how rigor mortis sets up. It starts appearing from 2 to 3 hours in case of summer. Winter it is earlier. Whole body stiff in about 12 hours. It persists for another 12 hours and disappears gradually after 18 to 24 hours. Summer mein 18 hours, and then in case of winter it is after 24 hours. Rigor mortis starts disappearing. The effects of rigor mortis, if you see, the joints fixed are markedly you can observe, and because of the erector pili muscle stiffening, that is rigidity in that muscle, if hair fibers are there, they stand erected, and if there are no hair fibers, then you can see the appearance of the skin as if goose skin. And also because of the scrotal muscles constriction, there can be discharge of semen. If in case of these are the conditions where rigor mortis can differ. In children it develops earlier, in thin persons it develops earlier, muscular built if it is well built then it takes time to develop, depending on the nature and mode of death. As in last all time also we had discussed about what is nature of death, natural or unnatural. In case of natural death, the normal chronology of rigor mortis sets up. In case of unnatural death like accident, suicide or homicide, depending on the activity of the muscle, the rigor mortis will take time, and according to mode of death, like whether it is suicidal or homicidal, then in that case also rigor mortis will be different. Atmospheric condition like outside, if it is freezing temperature, it develops earlier. What is the medico-legal importance of rigor mortis? It helps in estimation of time since death. It determines the position of the body at the time of death. If the body is already in rigor mortis and is moved from scene of death, it will remain so. And the conditions simulating rigor mortis are cadaveric spasm, that is called as instantaneous rigor, cold stiffening and heat stiffening. So coming to the first condition which simulates rigor mortis is cadaveric spasm. So antemortem muscular contraction continues after death, and as such it is seen. So as we said, it is instantaneous rigor, so it develops in rapid death, sudden death it occurs. And the three things here important for the determination of cadaveric spasm is at the rapid death, emotional tension at the time of death, and great muscular activity at the time of death. There is no primary relaxation, only voluntary muscles are involved and cannot be produced artificially. Cadaveric spasm records last act of life and may be helpful in indicating manner of death that can be accidental, suicidal or homicidal. So here in first photograph you can see the fist, which is showing some grass-like structure inside the fist. So this may be because the person was in struggling position to save himself, like in case of drowning, he tries to save himself by holding on to the grass or some tree-like structure. Or if homicidal attack is there, then he will try to hold on the shirt or any part of the body like hair, etc. And in next picture you can see the body in opisthotonous position, like in tetanus or strychnine poisoning, or in case of rabies also there are some convulsions. So in that case the body remains in that position when death occurs in that struggle itself. So for determination of cadaveric spasm, it is important that the death is it indicates that the death is rapid, and emotional tension was there at the time of death, and there was activity in that particular muscle. So to differentiate, as we have already seen, time of onset and primary placidity is there in case of rigor mortis, whereas cadaveric spasm develops instantly. There are predisposing factors like emotional tension, struggle, muscular activity in case of cadaveric spasm. The muscles involved, the group of muscles are involved in case of cadaveric spasm. In case of rigor mortis, the whole of the muscles are getting involved as per the sequence. The mechanism of cadaveric spasm, as you all know, that it is because of the emotional tension, and here in rigor mortis ATP reduction is the mechanism of onset. Medical legal importance, as we know that cause of death and time of death can be determined. As onset is delayed in case of rigor mortis because primary relaxation is there initially for 2 to 3 hours and duration takes approximately 12 to 24 hours. Where, however, cadaveric spasm is instantaneous and it develops in few hours and remains for few hours until it is replaced by rigor mortis. In case of rigor mortis, it is intensity is comparatively moderate, and here it is strong. The mechanism here, it is ATP below critical level, and in cadaveric spasm, excitement, fear, fatigue, exhaustion, nervous tension, contraction of muscle at the time of death. And rigor mortis, all muscles of the body are affected gradually, and in case of cadaveric spasm, selected muscles which were in state of contraction at the time of death are affected. We were talking about condition mistaken. So first was cadaveric spasm, and next are the cold stiffening, heat stiffening. Cold stiffening is because of the freezing temperature. If the body is kept in refrigerated conditions, then because of the exposure to that freezing temperature, tissues become frozen and stiff due to solidification of body fats and fluids. In case of heat stiffening, there is heat rigidity. The mechanism, coagulation of muscle protein due to exposure to temperature above 65 degrees Celsius. Like in burns, you can see. Rigor mortis does not develop in this case and body remains in pugilistic attitude. Stiffening persists until decomposition sets in. So you have seen in burn cases such type of changes. And this is what we were talking about rigor mortis. In next class we will be seeing late changes. Till then, good day, bye bye, see you.